Good morning and welcome to you all. My name is Lami Baro, Director General for the Nigeria Country Department of the African Development Bank. You are welcome to our premises. Let me quickly welcome you all. We're very delighted to receive you and to host you for a session to make this happen. So, once again, thank you also to Sister Lola for this great initiative to arrange for this visit despite the very hectic and busy times your members out of Nigeria. It's 2 or 3 times the best that the continent has to offer. We live in a very globalized world. It's now a global village, so we no longer talk about brain drain, brain gain. So wherever we are located, irrespective, especially since the advent of COVID that has accelerated the arrival of the digital age, I think now it's not so important as to where one is physically located, so long as you are doing things that advance the development aspirations of the continent. And I dare say that Nigeria's diaspora community is probably the strongest, and without contradiction, it's the strongest and one of the most impactful diaspora communities we have in the world. Just yesterday, at the ceremony, at the opening ceremony, chairperson of Chairperson Dabile talked about, mentioned quite excitedly, and called on some representatives of the diaspora community, which is just a tip of the iceberg, for the great contributions you are making, not only in your host countries, but also here in Nigeria. So strengthening those linkages are very important, and that's why at the African Development Bank, we hold you as a very treasured asset. The African Union also has the same kind of disposition. But what we need to do really is to strengthen our initiatives and our efforts to make these relations more impactful by, first of all, making your life easy when you want to do things in your countries. I'm speaking broadly for African diaspora, so that governments can make the necessary arrangements to, let's say, reduce or if not entirely eliminate bureaucratic obstacles to your work. I know there are some countries that have progressed better than others. I recall Tunisia is one of the strongest in terms of the dispositions they take to make their diaspora community make life easy and more conducive for the diaspora community, whether it's in terms of transactions, in terms of getting papers, identity and related, and other kinds of civil, particularly facilities. Another country outside of the continent, and in fact Mauritius in the continent, has done a great job in terms of particularly mobilizing diaspora savings. India, outside of this continent, have very, very innovative approaches to attracting diaspora savings, which has helped a lot in enhancing their reserves. External reserves. I think Prof. Ulama knows more about all these things than I do, so in this intervention we give some maximum insight, as well as yourselves, because you live it and walk it every day. So what all we strive to do is to help strengthen these links for service providers, to also harness and tap the opportunities that exist in the continent, so that we give it to our own rather than just others who are not from the continent. So once again, welcome. The bank, Nigeria is the biggest shareholder in the bank. Also a very big client, one of the top 3 or 4 borrowing countries. And currently our portfolio is estimated at about $4.5 billion, divided between sovereign and non-sovereign operations, because what we do is we finance projects and programs in the public sector and in the private sector. So the balance is around 60 to 40 now. It was more even 2 years ago, but increasingly we have approved very big flagship programs that I'll talk about that have tilted the balance between non-sovereign, which is private, and sovereign, which is more public. Of course, in the public sector too, in Nigeria being a federal structure of government, we have projects and programs that are federally driven and others that are driven by the states, depending on the nature of the intervention. In the private sector, the bulk of our operations are in the financial sector, mainly through lines of credit availed to banks and other financial intermediaries and institutions to on-lend to small and medium-scale enterprises, because we are more of a wholesale lender. The cost of doing any particular operation is high, so you cannot do small transactions. So that's why we have to channel these resources at times through banks and that on lend. But they take their credit risk, so they have a lot of autonomy to do their own underwriting, because at the end of the day, they have to repay the loans. Of course, when we approve these operations, they have pipelines of projects, eligible projects, because normally we want to promote funding for SMEs in the real sectors of the economy, so that they can create value, they can have profits, they can preferably export, but importantly create jobs and also generate revenues for the fiscals. Also very diverse in terms of sectoral presence, from agriculture, industry, financial sector, mining, all the sectors, really, services even are included. Also, in terms of the mapping to what is called our high